And by focusing on cost of living, as opposed to paying consultants to tell New Yorkers what they should think, we were able to actually craft a campaign where we had someone come to our Forest Hills rally with a hat that said MAGA Mamdani.
You know what I mean? I literally, that's one of those moments where I was like, is this AI or not? Because you never know these days, but he's real, right? Yeah, he is.
This is real.
You mentioned while you're on MSNBC that there was MAGA for Mamdani.
Yes.
Okay, so
Did you see his song that he made recently?
I interviewed the guy.
Oh my goodness.
MAGA.
How many shirts does he have?
He sells those T-shirts.
He sells them?
My fiance and I both interviewed the guy. He's not kidding. He is very much in love with Trump. He's very much in love with you.
I might have
he
to
is
get
so
one of these
excited.
shirts.
You're going to get a MAGA. Do you want a MAGA for Mamdani shirt?
Just for posterity.
Hey, aren't you the MAGA for Mamdani guy?
Why, yes, I am. Nice to meet you. Your name?
Walter Masterson.
Hi, Walter. How do you do?
How you doing? So, you got a minute?
Yeah, why not? I don't have to be somewhere for a couple hours.
We're in front of your favorite place right here.
That's my daddy's house. Trump daddy. It's my house. I grew up in Greenwich, Connecticut. All Republicans in my family disowned me and my mother after this. I've been disinherited.
Wait,
I got to make money on this because my inheritance is gone.
even though you're full on MAGA,
Yes, sir.
you're full on in support of Trump.
Yes.
But your family does not like the fact that you support Zoran Mamdani.
There's not one person in my family that likes the Democratic positions on anything. Not that I've ever heard. And I'm trying, not only do I have to convince them, I got to convince so many friends. And I can see how tough it's been just from being online and just from the comments. I even I was on television again today. I said it to my mother. She's not proud of me. All she could say was, I wonder what Trump would say. I wonder what Trump would say. I'm like,
yeah, well,
Mom, I made it on TV. Your boy finally made it at 55 years old. And what would Trump say? I don't know. Maybe say, hey, maybe there's a new idea. Maybe we'll bring Zoran to the White House. Maybe we'll all get along and try to help people more instead of fighting each other every effing day of the fucking week, which is why I switched over anyway. And I haven't switched over. I'm just going to the other side.
You don't look like you switched over. You're still.
I'm still MAGA, but I see his flaws are humongous and they're not going to change. And I wasn't going to vote for him the second time, but I was going to vote in the middle the second time. Robert Kennedy, I was going to vote for. But
that's the middle?
But it was the middle. Hold on, remember, he was the middle. He was the middle, and then he shifted over to Trump, and then he went full on MAGA, and I couldn't vote for Kamala because I'm a Republican. Now, one day I will vote for a Democrat. Oh, wait, I just did. I just voted for the mayor. So let's see if we can put someone in the White House that's a Democrat. Zoran Mamdani, possibly.
Okay.
Watch out for that one, because that's the next thing I think is going to happen.
It's a huge hurdle, but they have to basically redo the Constitution.
Okay, so what if we had someone run with Zoran, which he should run because he is the most articulate. He is the spirit of the movement right now, the Democratic movement. And as a Democratic movement, it's the American movement. And it's getting stronger, building itself right now, and it's getting bigger than Trump, this movement. It's starting small, but it's getting bigger with every day.
On a normal day, I can't tell who's a bigger enemy of Zoran Mamdani, is MAGA or the establishment Democrats.
Oh, that's a great point. Well, it's just like when Donald came up himself, the Republicans were shaking. They're like, dude, no way is this guy getting in with us. Because they felt...
Well, that's the allure.
Exactly.
That's the allure. He's outside of the establishment, and he has this sort of permanent this mythical outsider status.
Completely.
And the more people hate him,
the bigger he got. The larger he got, the more people wanted to watch him and listen to what he was saying and believe in him, just like they're believing in Zoran more and more. It's going to take time because he's got some outlandish ideas, which are just fiscally outlandish. But are they really?
Why did you vote for Zoran Mamdani?
Okay, the truth be told, it was a very easy vote for me. It was a combination of his youth, the way he spoke, the way he represented himself. It didn't matter his party. I wasn't even looking. And in this city, we have 6-1 Democrats to Republicans.
Yeah.
What's the use of voting for a Republican unless he's an unbelievable Republican, which they don't exist? The only Republican that's unbelievable that exists is on my feet, Donald Trump. And even he right now he's been in a lot of trouble lately. So it was an easy pick for me to take Zoran. So the only hard thing was making up these shirts and hats. And I actually just went to a Halloween party, and a young kid, which is the beauty of this country, it was a young person. He said, fuck Donald Trump right there.
Yeah.
A young kid said, hey, tomorrow's a rally for Zoran. I didn't even know there was a rally. I go, really? He sent me the link. I signed up and I went down and I went with this. It was totally not. I totally didn't have it like
Did you
planned.
film yourself at this rally?
They all filmed me. I had immediately as I walked in, people were 3 people like you from different countries, which was Germany, Austria. There was an Australian, but from different countries want to know, what does this mean? What does MAGA for Mamdani mean? And I simply said, it means I voted for Donald Trump twice. And this is the first time I'm actually voting for Mamdani. So 2 times for a Republican, and now I'm voting for a Democrat.
So this is the first Democrat you've ever voted for?
Absolutely, the first one ever. Okay. And hopefully not the last.
So again, I'm Walter Masterson. I'm here interviewing
Ron Barba. Originally from Greenwich, Connecticut, now lived in New York City for almost 30 years.
Do you still consider yourself a Trump supporter?
100%. I am 100% a Trump supporter. But what I realized is that he is not going to get the job done on making this country great again, because the division is as great as ever. Even the babies are crying about it. The division is, we've got more division than a math class, and he's not going to be able to pull us together. And maybe Zoran can. He's a young man. He's got I love when young people have ideas. You go, huh? And sometimes with older people, they've lost that sense of like, we need to work together and stuff. And I don't see that Trump is going to be able to do that, these next 3 years. And so I do support him, and a lot of the things he does, a lot of things he wants, sometimes his methods I don't love, but what are you going to do? And I still will be, he's still my president. I'm still going to support him, but I hope that someone like Zoran can, maybe change the way he thinks about things by just in the essence of Zoran.
We've established that you're MAGA. You like Donald Trump. You got the shoes.
Look at the shoes. Specially made. These shoes were specially made by Sophie Mazzaro from LA, an amazing artist. 2020, when he lost, 2020.
So wait, do you believe the election was stolen?
Truthfully, do I believe he did? I do believe that somehow, some way, there was a fixing, there was a rigging. But listen, there's a lot of riggings both sides. But I do believe that was a rigging. Only because when I look at Joe Biden and had to endure him for 4 years, I couldn't believe that was the president. A guy who's not incompetent. I don't even know what he was. He was like a vegetable the way he spoke half the time.
This is an aside. I foolishly thought, until the debate where he was sundowning, I foolishly thought that it's the White House, he's the president. when they need him, they can just inject him with the appropriate drugs to get him to walk around and stuff.
The best he can.
But he's Joe Biden. Even if they had those drugs, he wouldn't take them, because he's never, just like Donald Trump, they both never had a drink.
They don't take a drink. They don't drink. They don't do drugs.
So,
interesting.
Let's go over Zoran's policies.
Okay.
So I need to prove to my audience that you actually like Zoran.
Oh. So love Zoran.
You love
and loved him from day one, which is not that bizarre. It is bizarre in that, listen, I think both parties sometimes, you look at someone from the other side and you say, you're listening to them, and then you realize, oh, they're not even on your political thing. You're like, oh, but I really liked a lot of things they said. To me, Zoran was like that from the beginning. Just the way he was, how strong he was, the way he delivered himself, the way he presented himself. He could have been a Republican in my mind. And I've had friends that are big time Democrats, big time liberals, and I go, I can't believe you're not a Republican. The way you are, the way you talk is like a Republican, but you're a Democrat. So to me, it's not that hard to switch from both sides, one side from the other. This isn't so remarkable that a guy that loves Trump would also love Zoran. And by the way, there's more hiding, and I'm trying to get them to come out more and say, I like Zoran as well. And they're coming out.
What policy of Zoran's made you excited? Was it just vibes? Was it just who he was?
Nope. What's the free buses? So the free buses, listen, I used to take the bus all the time, and I love the buses, and I think they're a very helpful way to get around. They work. Now that I do city bikes, to me, they're obsolete buses. But the main thing that I did love about him and about this city, as you know, it's the most expensive place to be. And he's trying to crack down on the prices. Affordability. And all prices are going up. But in the city especially, it's harder and harder for people to live. And Zoran is trying to address that by helping out the poor. What is so wrong with that? And taking from the rich, the richest. What's wrong with taking a little bit from them? Do you think they're gonna miss it when they wake up in the morning and go, oh my God, I have less $1 billion of the 20 billion I have? Then you could be helping literally millions of people. Yeah. So I really love the the tax for the rich. I remember when at the Zoran rally, they were yelling, tax the rich. And Bernie was talking. I'm like, he's rich, tax Bernie. Even though,
but Bernie's not a billionaire. Like he has
right. I mean, we're talking about billionaires now.
Yeah.
But
a millionaire at this point isn't even.
But I think in his policy.
I mean, listen, if you have $1 million, there's people that may have nothing, but
absolutely.
It's not even. And when you look at like the spectrum of like who has the money and everything, millionaires, that's like some broke bitch shit in comparison.
True.
Elon Musk is about to be a trillionaire, which should be illegal.
I mean, illegal. That's interesting. Illegal. I do. Listen, I'm all for spreading the big money wealth, but
what
again,
I'm saying, like,
I've had people that ask.
Look at Elon Musk. He's about to be a trillionaire.
That's crazy. And people are starving everywhere you go. It's starving in this world.
But people in the MAGA movement, when you mention taxing
they'd rather them die.
When you talk, so that's what I'm getting at. Is a lot of the people in the MAGA movement don't agree with you on a lot of these policies.
Certainly not.
They definitely don't agree with taxing the rich.
No. Well, I don't know. You'd be surprised. Let's see what some poor, which are a lot of poor people that voted for Trump, what they think about taking more from the rich and dispersing it in a what's the word? Not comfortable, but a responsible way to people who need it for actual bills and actual things that are necessary for their life, or to try to improve their life or improve their business so that they can make some money.
There's a portion of people that are actually right-wing populist. They want to focus on kitchen table issues, affordability. They would be fine with some type of public option, Medicare for all. And these are people that are squarely on the right.
And that's great. And I think we need more of that. I think we need more of that from the right. We obviously have a lot of that from the left. That's like probably the standard, right, for the left to be more, for universal health care. And listen, I have very cheap health care, but I got it because the government offered it. And I thought that was a beautiful thing. And I was like, my God.
How'd you get it?
I got it through a friend, a Democrat, who said that I could get it. I'm like, I don't have health insurance because of the cost of health insurance is so unbelievable. And listen, I could afford to pay for that health insurance, but I'm actually a very healthy person. So I typically don't want to spend $700 a month that I never go to the doctor anyway.
And that gives you like the bare minimum.
700 is a deal.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we're so out of whack in this country. And because Trump is the president, he's even exacerbating the problem. So when a guy like Zoran comes in, I feel like his influence, we need to grab hold on now. It's almost like we kind of need to jump. We need to jump we were on Trump, now we need to jump over to Zoran and see how we can work with him. I feel like Zoran is extremely smart with a lot of his ideas, and I think we need to try them on some level. We have to experiment with giving more of ourselves. I don't think Trump is for that. I don't think he's that kind of guy. And he's going to be president for the next 3 years. Yeah. And Zoran obviously wants to give stuff that he doesn't have. That's what always the claim is. You can't take from people and give to others. Why not? When they have so much, you take a little and give it. You'd be amazed at how happy you'll be giving it. So I would apply to the Republicans, the rich ones. You give more, you'll feel better.
I feel like you tax them out of existence. Billionaires to me are an unelected representative.
Interesting.
A billionaire to me is an unelected politician. They have that power. Like Bill Ackman.
Legend. He's from I'm from Greenwich. He's from that area.
So I mean, Bill Ackman, your boy Bill Ackman.
The legend.
He doesn't. Oh yeah.
Well, I'm a tennis player, so I knew he's a tennis player.
He paid millions of dollars to Eric Adams to drop out. He offered Curtis Lewa $10 million.
Really? Yeah, so that he wouldn't.
So he'd drop out. Curtis Lewa, I don't like him, but respect to him, he stayed in.
Yeah, and I love Lewa, I actually do, but I still wouldn't vote for him because I knew he had no chance. I wasn't going to vote for a loser. It's like betting on the Mets. You're going to lose, even if you love them. And I would say that. I would be like, you can't. He has as much chance of winning as the Mets do. So why would you watch him? Why would you, when you knew Zoran was the winner? Why wouldn't you go for that?
Bus is fast and free.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Universal child care.
I mean, I don't know what that issue. A lot of things I don't know what the actual issues are. What's he going to do with universal child care? I mean, they're all going to be paid for, the kids. I think
So, I mean, it's a multiplier.
I say absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, everybody's going to take a responsibility. The parents should be doing their best to help their children, with health or with education, bringing them up, all these right things. But if they need help, 100%, the government should help.
And here's the big socialist one. How do you feel about government-run grocery stores?
That's a weird one. The grocery store is like, I don't know what that would look like. It sounds to me like places where super poor people would go. I'm normally not in places where super poor people are. So I don't really know how to address something like that. That's the market calling. 1 second. Sorry. Yeah, so I don't.
Well, you know what? I guess that's an honest answer. Is I don't know.
I just don't know what the growth.
Okay.
I don't know what that's going to look like. That could be amazing for all I know. And I'm again, because of Zoran, and I like risk. I like taking chances. Take a chance. We take chances on so many things. Take a chance on this. Let's see how it works out.
Okay.
If it doesn't work out, just shut it down. If you don't like New York, go somewhere else. We'll always be here. You could always come back. Open up the grocery stores. See how it works. Give it, I don't know, a year, 2 years. If it doesn't work, shut it down and say, hey, we tried, it didn't work.
And the other part is he wants to civilianize areas of our police force, right? So you have someone responding to a mental health call.
Sure.
That is a civilian. That's a social worker.
I mean, again, that's a tough one with especially defunding the police. There's so many crazy people too that you don't. If no one steps up, I mean, someone has to step up. What if we defund the police and then in my area, my friend gets shot, I get shot, because the criminal feels more open to being able to commit their crime because there's no deterrent.
The whole crux of the defund the police, abolish the police, the reform movement is we need people going after the social needs of the community while the police attack violent crime.
Violent crime, correct.
Versus the broken windows policing that we see.
Okay, is that what goes on?
Right, so we see right now there's the traditional tried and true sense, Giuliani onward, is broken windows policing, just going after everything.
Right.
Lock them all up.
Everybody, right,
yeah,
right.
And then stop and frisk, things like that. And versus, okay, if someone's being a crazy person on the train, they need mental health.
That is to me that has not been addressed. Is the mental health issue that we have, and I was told because I don't know the issue so strongly, but that Republicans shut down the mental illness hospitals a long time ago. Reagan, we're talking about 40 years ago.
Reagan,
40 years ago. And so it's like when you see these people, and if you live in New York and you see these mentally ill people walking everywhere, they need help. They need care. They cannot be amongst us. I mean, if they are, they are. And sometimes they're treated well, but a lot of times they're treated poorly. And sometimes they do crazy things which can endanger others, endanger themselves. So to me, we haven't even touched on the mental health part. None of the issues are about mental health. When there's so much mental illness going on today in New York, I don't know if there's more than it has been, but it always has seemed to be a problem, but it didn't seem to be an issue with in the debates, or I'm not even sure if it was.
No, I mean, and just for the record, Reagan, most of the problems we have in this country started with Ronald Reagan.
Is that right?
Ronald Reagan,
He started all.
He did a lot of things. He, did union busting.
Yeah.
The FAA problems that we have.
Okay.
The mental health problems that we have. The whole trickle-down economics, the wealth gap. I mean, back then the average age for a homeowner was 31. Wow. Now the average age for a homeowner is 51. Wow.
That's scary. So the standard of living has fallen a lot.
Yeah.
But again, listen.
Erosion of middle class. I mean, the middle class being able to raise a family, own a home. I mean, as a middle class person, that's like a joke today.
Is that right? There's no way. It can't be done.
We both live in New York.
Yeah.
If someone was middle class, they made 80 to 120K, and they said they want to raise 2 kids and maybe buy a house in a few years.
Never. It'll never happen.
Exactly.
There's no way. But again, that's why I told you, to me, the biggest problem that no one talks about, especially the federal government, is the debt. And that is why we are really choking, is because they just keep printing. That's the first thing for me that needs to stop. There has to be a law that they stop printing money and making the cost of everything skyrocket. I'm looking up at a ship going up. I mean, a plane going up. But just seeing, what you're saying about the costs, they've gotten out of hand. Whether it's Republicans and you think it's Republicans, I don't know who started it all. I just know, as Trump has been president,
25%.
Trump has spent trillions and trillions of dollars, wasted it. You look at his presidency, they're calling Zoran a socialist, and the socialist is more Trump. If you want to start giving labels to people, he's the one And while he's been president, on his watch, our government debt has gone astronomical while he was the president. And no Republican wants to talk about that. But I see it clearly.
I feel he sees more, when you see right-wing socialism, it looks like more like corporatism to me. Corporatism, but yeah, where it's the government is controlling the corporations, they all bend the knee to them. And I feel like, yeah, Trump is doing it's like this, Mussolini did that. Mussolini didn't like socialism, so he came up with corporatism.
Interesting.
That's my take on this thing. But yeah, with regards to the inflation, which that's a huge issue. The last several years
to me
have been, I mean,
they just print. When we went down in COVID in 2020, they just said, "Oh, we're going to print $7 trillion," and the market went crazy. I'm like, why would the market go up just because they're producing more paper to give to people? They're literally going, okay, here, we're going to produce this, and so now everything should go up. It's like, yeah, but everything's literally going to keep going up now because of what you did. So it's not a solution. I mean, it's a fake solution.
I think 20% of the inflation was due to the
print,
to printing out money. Then the rest, there were supply chain issues, incredible supply chain issues. There were, because I mean, there was inflation across the entire world.
Yeah,
every other country had it because of supply chain. You got a ton of monopolies saying, you know what, we're going to raise prices because we can. Yeah. And even when they're not experiencing supply chain issues, they're like, you know what, why not? There's three of us.
Yeah,
we set the prices.
Right. And now we got to get prices to come down. Is that possible? Maybe Zoran's trying to do that. That's a good thing. That's a start. Whether what his ideas are to do that, if they work or not, we need to start having that talk about getting prices down. Because all higher prices do is make people have to work harder, longer, and not have a better, style of living.
Dude, how long have you lived in New York?
I lived here for almost 30 years.
So here's the funny
96.
thing. So this is, I feel like people that aren't from New York wouldn't really get this. Okay. So, and it sounds insane for someone that's outside of New York. Someone that's making $250K in New York City, they have a great job, they make $250K, right?
Nice.
That
I wish that was me.
Yeah, but I mean,
but I could only afford my lifestyle. I couldn't have a family with that.
But you also, so there are people that make $250K a year. They're struggling to raise a family, to own a home, to own property, to build equity, to pay for school, there's childcare, and that is $250,000. You are
so top.
Yeah, you are crushing it. You got your master's, you got your you're doing
so well. You've done everything right in life.
And if those people,
and you're struggling.
Yeah.
And you've done everything right in life.
Yeah, and it makes me realize that, okay, this city was not built. It is not being built out currently for anyone that is not a billionaire.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's going to crumble in one way or the other. Whether there's not enough billionaires to go around here, so prices are going to come down one way or the other. Zoran might just be a symptom of that. He might be. This is what New York needs right now. So that's why he addressed it. That's why these are the policies that he went for, because he heard it clearly just by asking a room of people, what's the problem? The rent is too damn high. The prices of everything are too damn high. Just go out and just get groceries here. I get a grocery bill and I literally go up and go, wow, thank God I'm single. I have that feeling now. I'm like, thank God I'm single, because if I had a wife, I'd be boozing, I'd be working all the time and hating my life just because of the cost of everything. Or I'd become a monk and I don't know where I'd live then.
You're making.
I had, you know what's so weird is like, I had a good day, but not a great day. It was a good day today, but I've been short the market.
Is this what you do for a living?
Yes and no. I've had money because I was gifted money back in 2011 in the silver market. My dad made me money in the silver market. And so I've been basically living off that. And my position since 2020 has been to short the stock market, to short things, the prices are going down. And the market has done nothing going up. I had one good year, which was the COVID-19 year, because we had that big drop. Yeah. And then when they're like, we're going to print money, I actually went long. But after that, it's been a disaster, because I've been short this whole time. And the market just keeps going up in front. And I'm like, why does the market go up?
This video is not going to age well. This video is going to age, because right now the big conversation is what? It's the conversation of when is this AI bubble going to burst?
Exactly.
The AI bubble.
I just think these prices are obscene.
Yeah.
But I've been saying this for years. That's how wrong I am.
The growth of the market, basically like 70% of the growth of the stock market is NVIDIA, a lot of AI-related companies, and that's it. And Altman, the guy who runs OpenAI, he was floating the idea of a government bailout. Sam Altman of OpenAI said, we should get a government bailout if we go under. Okay. And I don't think he just said that casually. I think he deliberately floated that in an interview. And I think the problem is with this country, overarching, is that these corporations privatize their gains and socialize their losses.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly don't know how that all works, what you're talking about. All I do know is that our government, we're $38 trillion in debt. And I was like, how much debt do you have to go in before people stop believing in the stock market? Just keep printing money. Just print. It doesn't matter. In fact, I saw this great meme. If we can just print money, why am I paying taxes? Just print the money to pay my tax.
Well,
I know.
You're getting into modern monetary theory.
Yeah.
Where they aggressively print money, and then they have tons of taxes and other things in place to keep inflation from going up.
I mean, that's what we do anyway.
I mean,
so when someone goes, oh, we don't have the money for this, they go, well, just print it and give it to them.
I think you're getting into how all of this is made up. I mean, if we can just print it, if we can just print money, it kind of feels like this. When you get onto the far left, the dirty socialists, the dirty communists, they're in agreement with you. They're saying, well, a lot of this seems made up, and that's just proof that this whole system is made up.
Of course, it's totally
that we
rigged.
Invented it.
100% rigged.
It's not
until it ends. But until then, they're going to keep it going because things are okay. There aren't that many deaths. There aren't that many school shootings yet. But eventually, something's going to happen because of the way we manage our money. Our, what is it? Not the cost of living, but just living within our means. Our country doesn't live within its means. It lives far and above. The people do. They want to. It's like, but that's not good for you.
But I feel like anything could happen and the country doesn't care because, like, I would, like, say there's so many bad things going on right now and everyone's just so numb to it. Like, there could be another school shooting tomorrow and 100 kids die and, like, nothing's going to change. Because
school shootings at this point they're not even newsworthy anymore.
That's what's so sad. You just can't believe, like you said, just the way people look at stuff today. It's like, so what that these kids got killed. People getting shot that are adults.
We've watched the whole genocide in Gaza take place in 4K surround sound.
Oh God, it was so frightening. I mean, I don't like that. That's a tough one to go into because I have a lot of Jewish friends who are very pro-Israel, and it's like, again, I'm MAGA for Mamdani. I'm pro everybody, but at the same time, you can't. You can't look at stuff and be like, well, what is really going on there? I do see people getting killed that have nothing to do with what's going on. It's obviously not an easy thing to switch people's minds over that. And so, I'm hoping people change their minds. Look, I changed my mind with MAGA for Mamdani, but to me, it's even a bigger picture than that. It's about doing more care for each other, more reaching out for each other that have difference of opinion and try to work stuff out without slandering each other and being nasty with each other and shooting each other or killing each other. It's just...
We could slander each other. I mean,
slander for fun.
Sometimes it's fun. Personally, I've tried short trades. I suck at them.
It's beyond the pain that I've suffered with shorting the market and the money I've lost is just unbelievable. And it's all internal. Every loss in the market is internal.
Listen, I feel like we're, a quarter or 2 quarters away from you being able to short it.
And make real money.
Because
it's so hard to short something. Oh, yeah. It's so easy just to buy something and hold it for a long time. I mean, that's what it's been like. But I'm thinking it's not going to be that way. But I'm always wrong.
You're always waiting for it,
It's stupid. It's stupid. Shorting the market, that's all I've learned in the last 5 years is stupid.
I've got the camera turned the wrong way. There's so many people walking by, and they're like, what the...
Well, that's why. That's why when I shoot my guy, and I have a cell phone, I'm like, I get the talent, and I'm like, I just get the people. Because let the people do the talking.
Because the shirt, they're like, what the hell?
Like, what is this? And that's the beauty. The beauty of this is endless, and it's a yin and yang, and it can be used in so many ways.
Do you know anything about the head of Zoran's transition team, Lena Khan.
I do not know anything about these people, but every day I'm being told.
Lena Khan, you got to check out Lena Khan.
Lena Khan.
She's the head of Zoran Mamdani's transition team.
Okay.
She was the head of the FTC under Biden. One of the few things I think he got right is he appointed her and left her alone and let her cook. She went ham on antitrust, blocked a ton of mergers,
Okay.
went, was total huge consumer advocate, went after junk fees, went after airlines that were charging and overcharging and not giving proper refunds. There's a huge list of amazing things she did as a consumer advocate and antitrust to stop major grocery chains from merging. She's not even a communist. She's not a socialist. She's a Brandesian capitalist. It's a form of capitalism where you just viciously hate monopolies and you viciously want to break up big ominous corporations.
Sure.
So, and that's Lena Khan. I implore you and anyone that is in the MAGA movement to look up anything about her. She is a rock star.
I'm excited to see you learn about Lena Khan.
Yeah.
And really everything with Zoran I want to learn more and more about.
Yeah.
Because I feel like he is going to be blazing the path forward, less Trump, because Trump is mired in his ego and all the stuff from the past. I think he probably is unfortunately not the right guy for the job because there's so much ugly heat on him and heat that he's kind of created. And I feel like we need something new. And I feel like Zoran could be that kind of person. And I'm interested in people like him, people that kind of want to work within that frame. And hopefully, like you said, more Republicans, more MAGA people. I hope they do reach out more to Zoran. I think they will too, actually. I think that it was a natural thing for me to start looking for another answer. And I think others are the same way. They don't have the kind of confidence to do it. And I don't know why I did, but I just feel like it was time to do that. And of course, I've gotten a lot of ugliness from Republican friends that I've lost and nasty things said about myself and about Zoran and that, he's an anti-Semite. And I'm like, guys, let's give this guy a shot. I don't see what you're seeing. I just see goodness. Let's try. Let's try to work with this guy. And people need to stay positive. They say the city's going to get worse. I say the city's going to get better, much better.
How so?
I just feel like when you have fresh blood, the leader is always the person that makes things, kind of
the direction, the vision.
Sets the tone. This guy sets the tone better than anyone. Better than even Giuliani. Oh, did I say that? Giuliani.
I'm a New Yorker. I grew up here. I feel like no one remembers Giuliani. Everyone hated Giuliani. If you're a Republican, you hated. If you were a Republican, you hated Giuliani, and you hated him for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. He, at the end of his second term when 9/11 happened, he was America's mayor.
He was America's mayor.
At that point,
9/11, we needed a leader.
That's
when you really need a leader.
We needed
literally getting attacked by people trying to kill you.
The same way that everyone was a Cuomo-sexual during COVID when, Trump was spouting incoherencies every day, and Andrew Cuomo would hold a press conference and speak in full sentences.
It's good. It's good that young people are following politics. I really barely ever paid attention. I just knew that I came from a Republican family, and so anything that was Republican in some way, I was attracted to. And Giuliani, because of 9/11, and because apparently the city was really, I didn't get here, I think I got here in 96, quote unquote, cleaned up 94. The city, because apparently the city was it was the disaster with Dinkins. I don't know the truth, but I remember when he was here, there were cops in the street. They were get off the street. I remember that. It was almost like military in some places. And I'm like, well, as long as, things are getting better, maybe he did a good job. But I did know that he kind of got crazy later on in life.
I experienced the way he tried to clean up the city. There were positive things. Personally, at the same time, the thing called CopStat was released, which made district-wide accountability for the police officers. So suddenly you can call a precinct into account for why cops in that district did not respond to a call and did not respond to something. There was leadership, growing up in the city there. Before that, you had cops that would never do their job, and they would be nasty about it. They would, and that's still
a power.
That's still a problem today, where you call them for something and they just don't want to
like,
do their job.
Wow.
And they are, and so and then that gets blamed on woke, per se.
Can I use that footage, please? Because why did you turn and film me with the dog?
I just filmed the dog.
No, you filmed me. I can see the
If you
legs
don't listen,
have on.
if you don't want us to use it, I won't use it.
Yeah, I don't want you to
No,
use
that's fine.
it.
I don't want to use it without.
Very, very specific.
I don't want to. I'm not going to use it without your consent. It's my channel.
You
I'm.
don't have my consent to use
Yeah, that's. And I'm
You
not.
got
Gonna,
it.
and I'm not
Thank you
going.
so
Clear. It's clear.
Don't even. Don't. It's
She
fine.
didn't even ask. She just turned and filmed.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you listen, if you don't want it, I won't use it.
No, not if. I don't want it.
Yes,
I'm being
yes.
very specific.
Then it won't be used.
no,
It will
no,
not be
Being
used.
very clear.
It's-
I work
it's-
in film as well.
It's my channel, and I'm telling you, it's.
She taped it.
You're not gonna.
I
We're
need
not
to
gonna
hear a
use it.
yes.
Yes, yes.
You got it. You got it.
Don't patronize me, lady.
Hey, listen. You know what? Put some respect in your voice. Don't call her lady and everything. You know what? If you want to be an asshole.
Lady is the thing that you're not
Hey,
going to tell me how to
don't
talk.
be. Don't patronize me,
You
lady.
don't get to tell me how to talk. You're in the park filming, and you're filming me without my consent, which is not nice.
I actually don't have to get your consent. It's called reasonable expectation of privacy. I can film you. I'm not filming you as a courtesy. So, you know what? If you want to,
It's not a courtesy because you are working for social media.
This is why
That's
we need.
media.
This is why we need MAGA for
Lawyer-wise,
Mamdani.
you
I
can
would
take-
just
you
be
can
like,
Great,
we're not
great.
gonna
You
deal
go
with
get
it.
go
I
go
would-
get
I
your
would
lawyer.
diffuse it. I would diffuse it.
Go get your
I
lawyer.
have
We
my
can
lawyer,
figure.
sweetie.
I
What?
wouldn't get. I just
I
wouldn't
have
get
my
involved.
lawyer.
Okay, go get him. All right.
Because
Put some
it
respect
takes
in your
away from
voice.
us.
Don't speak to my
It-
fiance that way.
Put
It's
some
okay.
respect
We
in
will
your
not be
filming.
using the footage.
Because
Initially, I was like, oh yeah, don't even worry about it. It's fine. And then he wanted to press the issue to the
Oh,
point
yeah.
where I'm like, now I'm like, okay, you know what?
He was
I
bringing
think
you
you are staying in the video.
Yeah, exactly.
To the point
you
where
just made it.
I'm like, you know
made
what?
the cut.
You're making this video so much more
Yeah,
interesting.
now it's good.
Now-
we were talking about the worst, most bland things in finance and what the price of everything's going to be.
Yeah.
But this is the real New York. You're fucking
Yeah.
angry. You're not going to let it go until someone has a fight over who
Yeah.
can film what dog.
Yeah. So now I'm like, oh no, you're in it now,
It's it.
and
You made
there's
it.
nothing you can do about it
You
either.
made it. Sue us. He got off the phone. I don't know if he's going to call the cops or go cite us
I don't-
law.
yeah, I don't know.
Why is this?
Actually, they would be the ones to get cited because that
He's got his
was not
dog
a place
off
that
the
you
leash.
can have your dog off the leash.
I know I probably should have mentioned that, but
I'm
like,
not going to say
yeah,
that
go-
because I have a dog and I love my dog.
I know.
Also, my
Yeah.
dog's a tutor.
he was, I was fine. I
I'm
was,
gonna take this guy down.
I was fine until he was like, "Hey, lady,"
"Hey, lady."
and then I was like, you know what? Actually, I'm not fine at all. You know, I was like, you know what? You just spoke
I
to
know.
my fiance and he called her like,
Exactly.
"Hey, lady." I'm like, actually, you know what? Actually, you're staying in the,
Yeah. Actually, you didn't have to
you're in the
call a lady
picture
or
now.
anything. You didn't even have to
you
address-
you win.
I came there really to Zoran because I really
You're
wanted
genuine.
to check it out. I really wanted to see what he's all about. And I thought it was a cool thing. I really enjoyed myself. But I've been in New York for so long. I'm Democrats. I have so many friends that are Democrats. It's
Yeah.
not hard to be a Democrat. I don't think it's hard to be either party, really.
MAGA and the establishment Dems and MAGA, you know, that's the one thing they came together on was stop Zoran.
Yeah, I know. How do I give you guys a shirt?
Thank you.
You want a MAGA? You ever gonna give us a MAGA from Mamdani shirt?
I don't know if you'd, as one as a gift, you can sell it, you can remember it.
This would be a great memento.
Now, would we wear one or would we just what size would I get?
I'll just take the red.
Red
Because
for
it's,
you.
I mean, it's just, you gotta take the red.
I love this guy. MAGA for Mamdani, folks. MAGA for Mamdani in New York City.
Your reaction shots. There you go.
Now I'm scared after that other guy.
Go, Zoran. Go, Donald. Donald, Zoran. You can't say Mamdani without saying Donnie, and you can't say Zoran without saying Ron. Thank you very much. Look at that. I've been at home writing. And I'm giving this to my new friend, Walter Masterson. Thank you, Walter.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for accepting this.
Thank you.
It's okay if you burn it, but I'm so happy that you accepted this.
I mean, you know what?
It looks like shiny.
it's kind of nice.
Wait, it's nice material,
How we roll.
actually.
Made by a guy in Queens. So we got Queens. Trump is from Queens. Mamdani's from Queens. The guy who makes this from Queens.
Nice.
This is full on New York, baby.
I mean, yeah, the blank is from El Salvador. Ironically, no, actually, it's actually the perfect place to have MAGA merch made from. To be honest, I mean, that's
And on
where
that note,
that's where That's where the prison labor is. For the black sites where ICE is sending everyone. So we didn't talk about that.
We need to talk about that in another segment. We're gonna see each other again, Walter.
We'll talk about the other stuff.
Are we friends?
You know what? I
Can
guess
MAGA Mamdani be friends with Walter Masterson?
we can be friends. We can be friends. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man.
You know what? It's been productive here. I'm glad we talked.
Have you had people reach out to you?
I've had a few. I've literally had a few, but not literally like I'm gonna say 5 that have reached out. Most of the people, especially that know me, and I have a lot of friends, obviously, and some followers, they like it. And the ones that didn't like it, a few have expressed it, but mostly it's been positive.
Yeah.
It's just you always remember the negative stuff, as you know. People are freaking out, but I think it'll be less and less that way.
Yeah.
I think that way. I don't know.
Yeah. It's MAGA from Mamdani.
What do you mean? It's happening right now. He's going to go see him tomorrow.
Yeah, I would like to know what's going to happen.
He's going. They're going to meet.
I know. So what do you think will happen?
I think they're going to get along great. I think
sure.
I think Zoran has a way of being charming. He's a charming man.
Yeah, you know what? Especially when he hates Israel and says, don't buy Israeli product.
Well, fuck Israel. Israel sucks. It's a genocidal apartheid state.
Let me advise you.
Yeah. No.
You're 100% wrong, and I don't need expletives to say it.
Yeah. Thank you. Fuck Israel. Thank you.
This is a friend of mine. She's a great comedian, Victoria Arnstein, but she's not in love. And she also told me about crypto when it was at like 30,000.
Can I make you
so
rich?
She's a brilliant woman. She's not a fan of Zoran's, but she is a really great woman. She has her own stand-up comedy show.
Thank you.
And thank you for being my friend.
love you.
I want to tell you that being Jewish and being my friend and not like a Zoran, I want to give you a hug because I love you for being, because you're just a great person and we're riding above all that.
I also don't like socialism. Is that fair?
Well, what's wrong with the workers owning the means of production?
It doesn't work. They tried it all over.
No. When I'm talking about the workers owning the means of production.
The workers owning the means.
That's what socialism is.
Right, and it doesn't work. They tried
No, wait.
it everywhere.
The
and it didn't work
workers.
anywhere.
No, but so who should control the means
Listen,
of production?
I'm a socialist in my family, like where my
No, but I'm talking about the
like
workers.
my husband works for me and I don't work, so yeah, that I believe in. But outside of that, no.
But I'm talking about the work. I'm talking about the workers.
What workers?
The workers controlling the means of production.
I don't agree with that. First of all, they don't put up the risk. The workers never put up the risk. The CEO and the people that own the company put up the risk. They take the time. The workers go home and they go to sleep. They don't have a care in the world. They don't put up the money. They don't put up the time. They don't put up the worry. Everybody else that has ever started a company, and I should know because we did, we have a company where we stay up at night 24/7. We're constantly thinking of the risks we took, the money we'll lose, the money we put up.
What's wrong with workers collectively organizing? What's wrong with the labor collectively organizing?
I just told you, it doesn't make sense. They don't have a worry. They don't put up the risk. They don't put up the money. It doesn't make sense.
So you're saying because they don't put up
Yes.
the money, like the initial investment, like they don't
Robots
deserve,
are gonna
like
take over anyway, so it doesn't even matter. For a human to get that cocky and say they're not replaceable is delusional. First of all, second of all, they don't have sick days. The robots, you're all gone. So to get that cocky, be happy you have a job because
but then if,
not everybody has a job.
Say like AI and robots were to take over, then what? Like everyone would be out of a job, right?
Yeah,
so then what would happen then?
Well, that's what's going to happen.
Then do you believe in like a UBI?
No, you could have
So, like,
hobbies.
what
If you
will you
invest
do?
in things now, like crypto.
So then if you don't invest and you don't have money and AI
you
and
should be
robots
teaching
take
them.
out,
People
no,
should be
but if it
teaching.
happens, then you're just kind of shit out of luck, right? No?
You should have luck now.
Yeah.
You should have luck now.
So
Start
you're not born,
investing
if you're
now.
not, but if you're not born into wealth, like
Why do
they're
people
not,
go to college? To learn what? To learn what? I'm being serious. Why
to
do people
learn
go to
something
college?
for their career, but you're saying right
Okay,
now
so
that
then
AI,
learn something.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
teaching you now.
You are teaching.
I'm saving you so much
No,
money.
no, no.
College is BS.
No, wait, hold on.
I'm teaching you now.
I also
Invest
think
now.
this college is BS, and I went to one of the most expensive universities in America. I went to USC.
You're indoctrinated.
But and I agree with you. But I will say, like, if they teach us now, no, like I'm actually like trying to have a serious conversation. Like,
I'm serious too.
if they are teaching you now, but like, what about when AI and robots have already taken over, like that generation doesn't have time to like build the wealth that you're saying ahead of time. Like you're saying,
you have time right now.
Yeah, no.
If you put $10 in Bitcoin, you'll make more money
You're
today
saying, yes,
than tomorrow.
I know. I
than
do
you will
invest.
in
I invest in
Okay, so
Bitcoin.
that's what
I'm not
teaching.
saying. I'm not saying me. I'm saying like.
I'm
you
telling
know,
everybody now.
No. My future children. I'm saying like
You don't have to worry about your future children if you do the investing. If you plant the
So
seed
you're
now,
saying I have to build generational
yeah, that you're
wealth?
responsible for yourself, right?
Yes, myself.
So then you will be responsible for yourself, and then you teach it to future generations.
Yeah, but
and you
I'm
invest.
no, but there will be no money to
What if,
invest.
okay. Let's go back in time to the pioneer days when farmers had to plant a seed and hope for the best, right? They couldn't get it anywhere else. They didn't learn that in school. They planted a seed so they could eat. Gathers everything and harvests it because it knows it has to. An animal knows that.
Yeah.
So if an animal could do it, why can't humans do that?
Well, I mean, you want to go back in the back in those days, we had communal living. There was public lands. Land was public for cattle graze on.
No, go watch
There
Little
was
House
the-
on the Prairie. Just for even
What
one
depends,
reference.
like what are you saying? Like back in like the olden days, yeah, like people lived in communities.
We know too much now to be this stupid. I'm sorry.
I know,
but
what I'm
can
saying,
learn anything in the world right now at our fingertips.
I'm saying
and
now
if
it's
you're still stupid.
I'm saying now it's
there's no hope for you.
it's very hard to build generational wealth, and it'll be very hard for like.
Who's talking about generational wealth?
You just
Think
said
about
that like
yourself right now. Half the people don't want babies anyway. Think about right now. Don't worry about later. Don't worry about your kids.
You're talking to two people that we own our own business.
Right.
We make investments.
Right.
I invest in Bitcoin heavily. I invest in crypto.
You have nothing to
However,
worry about
I
that.
still want a social safety net. We're
not
social
saying for me, I'm
beings.
saying
We need to be
Wealthy
more
people
social.
do not need New York. New York needs wealthy people. Remember that forever.
Like that.
The
New York
data
doesn't know
doesn't
what
back
it's
that
doing.
up.
First of all, Mamdani is asking for money the day that he got elected.
No,
And
wait,
he's
I
asking
love
for
that.
money
No.
from donors
Here.
that have no money.
I'll explain that.
Let it go.
Here, the transition team. Normally, a transition power, that's a normal thing for politicians to do. The transition team is quietly funded by lobbyists and special interests. He's not taking lobby and special interest money. He's publicly funding himself. So
He's not.
He
He lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, and he's got billions of dollars coming in.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. His parents have billions of dollars.
They don't have billions of dollars.
His mother's a billionaire.
His mother's not a billionaire.
Okay, multi-millionaire. I'm sorry. Even if it's
What's wrong with being a
$50,000 more than...
multimillionaire? You don't like capitalism?
I love it. You're saying that he's a
He wants a
fraud.
social net.
He's a fraud.
But if he was broke, you'd be
Oh
mad
my
at him
God.
being broke.
Oh my God. I'm not angry with people for being broke at all. I think that people should learn how to do things because
Well,
it's your
his
responsibility.
parents obviously learned how to do
Why should a
stuff.
wealthy person pay for a homeless person? Tell me now.
Why should they pay
Yes,
for
why?
Because it's well taxes, we live in a
Why
society,
should
we take
people
care
get
of each other.
Why?
Why
Why
do
can't I
we
get charity? And that way
We
you
have charity. Charity doesn't work.
No, more money, more choices.
Charity doesn't. We have
okay,
charity.
wait, but I have a better like serious question. Is like I have one question. Like if we don't like help take care of the people with mental illnesses that are like
Yeah, there should be a fund for
that
that,
are-
and there should be charities. I give to that.
Yeah,
so
but
why shouldn't I? Why am I
but
being punished for making money?
But I feel like
No incentive.
But I'm saying like there's not enough. If we don't,
Do you have a homeless person in your house
if I'm,
right now?
Wait, hold on. I'm
Do
saying,
you have a homeless person?
No,
in your house?
that's
It's
a
exactly
disingenuous
like that.
argument.
Yeah, you say that.
It's a
but it's not.
disingenuous argument.
Exactly.
if we
You can't
don't
play
help
the
them,
we don't
I'm
have.
not saying like take a homeless person into my home.
Why
I'm
not?
saying if we don't help them and give them a structure
Right, we should.
to rehabilitate
Yes.
them.
Put them upstate in facilities. They have a lot of land out there. I'll pay for that. I will pay for that.
Okay.
Okay, but don't force me. First of all, if you're gonna pay for that, that's the only tax I'll pay for. How's that?
People to help them, and I'm saying like financially help them. Like you're saying, okay, I agree. Like let's get them into like a facility to help
Yeah.
them, even if it's upstate. But like
Okay,
they're-
that's the only tax. That's the only thing tax should pay for. I
yeah,
agree with
that's
that.
okay then.
What
Okay,
about
yeah.
Israel?
Yeah, only that.
Should the money go to Israel?
Yes, absolutely. They're a democracy. They're the only friends in the Middle
So
East.
it
where you
shouldn't-
get-
it
they're
shouldn't
doing
go to the
dirty work
homeless?
For America.
It
No, you
shouldn't.
should do both.
It
I
should.
do
It's
agree they're doing
the
the
money
dirty work.
shouldn't go to the homeless, but it
Do
should
both.
go to Israel.
What?
The money shouldn't go to the homeless, but it should go to Israel.
I said I'll pay for the homeless if you give. I just said it.
If we put them upstate in a facility.
In a facility. Take the mental illness and put them in a facility.
So you won't use as long
you
as
like
they're
them
not
on the
in.
street? You like them on the street? That's
No,
better?
I like them in housing and
Okay,
socialized housing.
Upstate New York where they have land.
We can
Great
agree on
solution.
that. We can agree on that. That we're giving them
Great
housing,
solution.
even if it's upstate. I'm
That's
okay with that.
You see?
Yes.
Listen, MAGA Mamdani. This is MAGA. This is Mamdani, and we can all get along. Come on in.
That's kind of a
MAGA
social.
Mamdani. We're all together.
There you go.
But this is a good argument because you guys showed respect for each other,
Of
and that's
course.
what I want more
I'll
than
still
anything
be your
else.
friend. I don't care. I love Ron.
I want
don't care.
respect for each other, even if we have political
I like your
differences.
hat.
Gotta get an
You gotta
Instagram
get the
photo.
shoes. I mean, the shoes are legend. Famous. Donnie. MAGA for
I've been on
Mamdani.
my shows, but I gotta say, I hate the cause.
You gotta have me host. Come on, MAGA for Mamdani's got a host.
Host.